Hello. 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 Just testing. Hello. Is it audible? Guys, there is slight delay in the streaming, so maybe due to the network issue. So, however, I can continue with this network capabilities, no issues. Okay. So, first of all, I would like to introduce myself, guys. So, my name is Suresh Kola, and I have been holding 6+ years of experience as an SAP SD consultant, and my current designation is a lead consultant. So, I am passionate to explore the SAP system as and when there's a key innovations in the S4Hana system. So, I would be glad exploring and helping you with those information. Okay. So, as part of this session, you are going to learn about the key innovations which are implemented as part of the S4HANA system. So there are n number of key innovations which you can see, which I am going to present now. So I am unable to continue this video and audio, sorry, the presentation parallelly. So I just hide my video, then I'll present my PPT there. Okay. Sorry guys for delay in streaming this video now. Yeah. So today's session is on the SD key innovations, right? So let's go through that one by one. Yeah. So the objective of the session is, so you would be going to learn about these pointers. Okay. So you will get the overview on the S4HANA system, the data model changes, business partner, AATP, credit management, settlement management, flexible workflow, advanced intercompany sales, which is implemented in the S4HANA 2022 version only, output management, and Fiori applications. Okay. So, as we know that, so it was implemented, this was started in the years ago, right? So now the S4HANA, the main difference between ECC and S4HANA is, the data in the ECC system would be lying at the database level. But whereas in the S4HANA system, so the data would be available completely on the in-memory database. Okay, so as and when you run the S4HANA system, the system will be able to capture the information from the in-memory database. Okay, so there would be a quicker, fetching data onto the front screen. Okay, then the analytics part. Okay, now by introducing the Fiori applications, so the now the business users and the core users would be able to pick up the information from the SAP system based upon the historical data which is available in the S4HANA system. Okay, it will gather this information from the history of the database and it will predict the information. Okay, and it will give you the analytics on the basis of the average data by taking the information from maybe based on the 6 months of data or years of data. So that based upon that data gathering structure, that would be able to cater the information and the Fiori applications. So there are n number of Fiori applications for the analytical apps. Okay, so I will discuss that in the Fiori apps part. Okay, so there are key innovations: artificial intelligence, embedded systems. Okay, there is a machine learning capabilities and seamless integration with the other systems. And there are n number of Fiori apps for the day-to-day activities which have to be done by the end users as well as for the business and core users. Okay, so and we will also discuss about the private cloud and public cloud. Okay, so by 2030 there will be a cloud systems only. Okay, if at all you want to work on the SAP system, you have to be able to learn the cloud systems parallelly. Otherwise you won't be able to predict your future of your future there. So in order to sustain your career on the SAP, you have to learn cloud systems in parallelly. Okay, so because by 2030 SAP is going to stop providing the support to the on-premise systems. Okay, so as of now the SAP system can be run on the basis of the Amazon web servers and their own cloud systems. Okay, so, so let's go with the data model changes. Okay, so okay, so so data model changes. So there is a simplification done in the S4HANA system, whereas there are a lot of tables for there. Okay, so like for the status tables, we have to have a different tables, right? Like VBUK, VBUP. So these are the status tables which are eliminated in the S4HANA system. Okay, so as and these tables are integrated with the VBAK, VBAP tables. Okay, so like that. So as and when there is a different tables introduced in the SAP system, like for the header data sales order, then you have to go for the VBAK table, and for the item data you have to go for the VBAP table. So the status of the header and item status is residing in the VBUK and VBUP table, and these tables fields are replaced in the header table and item table. If at all you want to see the header status of the sales order, you can directly go to the VBAK table where you can find the status tables instead of going into the VBUK and VBUK tables. So likewise, for the VBUK you will find the VBUK fields are replaced in the VBAK table, and VBAP tables are replaced in the VBAP table. Likewise, we have the status table for the LAKP and LAPS. So for that also we'll find those tables in the find those fields in the VB LAKP and LAPS tables as well. Okay, so likewise they have eliminated these tables, and you can also see that master data tables and inventory management tables. So we can find a inventory management table which is a mad doc, in which you can find a complete information of the inventory related transactions, like when you do transactions for the procure to pay cycles or OTC or order to cash, STOs. So whatever the scenario that you run in backend, the system has to trigger the metal document entries, right? And all these entries will be stored in the MATLAB table, which is a big table in S4HANA at present. And in the same way, you will find the accounting entry table, which is AC Docker, which is a new table in S4HANA system. So you will find complete information in the AC Docker table. So we used to have these BKPF and BSEC tables independently, right? Now all this data will be resided in the AC Docker table. Okay, so likewise, and they have brought some changes in the VBFA table. So you can find that changes in the VBFA table as well, and the table like KYNV is replaced in the S4HANA system by PRCD underscore elements. Okay, Yeah. Now let's go with the advanced ATP. Okay. Now SAP has provided advanced ATP functionality in the S4HANA system, so which is a successor of SAP APO Global ATP, right? So it used to be a separate instant in the earlier versions, right? Now, so it is embedded in the S4HANA system, and that is renamed as available to advanced, available to promise. Okay, so here there are different features like product availability check, product allocations, bag order processing, supply assignments, alternative based confirmation, supply production, okay, protection, substitution, object and value determination, supply creation based on confirmation, and data management. So these are the new features which you can find in the S4HANA system, okay, and which an SD guy should have a knowledge of it. So guys, whosoever is preparing for the next interviews, maybe you are you want to switch your job into next other company, so you have to learn about advanced ATP, so which is a hot topic in the interview. So as and when you go for and you attend the interview, right, the team will ask you on the AATP if you say that you worked on the S4HANA system, or else they ask for the knowledge on the S4HANA system. Okay, the first topic will be the advanced ATP. So you have to have the knowledge on the advanced ATP before starting up your interview. Okay, so just go through that and then go for the interview. Okay, so I'll take a few examples from these features and I'll explain you how it works and what are the prerequisites required to run the show. Okay. Okay, so I have taken one process like backorder processing. Okay, so you can use backorder processing to check the material availability when the demand or supply substitution situation in your order fulfillment process has changed and you want to check if previously calculated confirmation for requirement in business document are still realistic. Okay, for which you have to have the knowledge in the Fiori applications which have to be executed through the transaction slash and slash UI2 slash Fiori FLP. Okay, so okay, I'll tell you again, slash and slash UI2 slash FLP. So this is the transaction which you have to run in the SAP system, which navigates you to the web portal. Okay, where you have to log in with the SAP user credentials, then you have to find those apps. Okay, as you can see, as part of the backorder processing, you have to use the four applications which are shown on the presentation, right? So one is monitor BOP, configure BOP, configure BOP variant, and schedule BOP variant. First you have to configure BOP segment and configure BOP variant, then you have to schedule run, and then you have to monitor how exactly it is running in the background. Okay, so here you can take one example. For example, I have two sets of customers. Like I have a high priority customers for whom I have to confirm the quantity irrespective of the quantity that is confirmed to the the other normal priority customers. For that, there are different strategies given by the SAP where you can see win, gain, redistribute, and loss. So like that, there are different strategies. If you set the strategy for the high priority customers with win situation, then so they will get the order confirmation as and when they place an order. So irrespective of the confirmation that is already scheduled for the other low priority customers. Okay, so like that you have to decide that requirement in the configure BOP segment and configure BOP variant. Then you have to schedule that BOP there and you will be able to see the results in the SAP system. So as soon as you schedule them and then you go for the SAP and you can just create a sales order for the high priority customer, and before that you just create a confirmation for the other low priority customer, then bring that sales order for the high priority, then you will find the results in that. The stock which is confirmed for the other customer will be reduced and will be reconfirmed to the high priority customer on its own, and nothing to do. You don't need to run the CO06 transaction manually. System takes care as per the business strategy that you have implemented in the configure BOP segment. Okay, so I will be going to do a dedicated video on that, and please stay subscribed for that, and I will be releasing that in the next videos. Okay, so in the same way, so I have taken another feature like alternative based confirmation, so which is a new feature in the advanced ATP. Okay, so here, so maybe you have multiple plans, okay, in the multiple locations, okay, different location. Maybe I have, so my base location Hyderabad, and maybe the company operates their business in Bombay and in Telangana, let's say, so in Hyderabad. Okay, so my I am placing an order from Hyderabad from so and so location, and the system calculates the quantity that is lying at the Hyderabad plant and the quantity that is lying at the Bombay plant. Okay, so I need a quantity of 100 quantity. So which is available in Hyderabad plant is just a 50 quantity. Let's say the Hyderabad plant is having the 50 quantity of material which I needed. However, the Bombay plant is having more than 100 quantity which I required. Okay, then system decides, so based upon the business strategy that you introduce, system decides from where the stock has to be picked, either from the Hyderabad plant or from the Bombay plant. So that will be, the decision can be taken by the SAP system itself based upon the structure that you define in the SAP. Okay, so this takes the information like quantity and the distance between the customer and the plant location. So system takes care of all this input, all these parameters, and then it will confirm the quantities. So for example, you by default plant is the Hyderabad location. Then if the strategy makes sense to pick the Bombay location, then system automatically replaces the plant in your sales order. So this is what the alternative based confirmation functionality works in the S4Hana system. So likewise, there are other functionality which I have explained earlier. So you have to grab that knowledge on the advanced ATP system. Okay, so this would be helpful for your future endeavors. Okay, then so you can see a product allocation. So this is the another functionality. Okay, so where you can see there are certain situations where you have a priority customers for whom you have to keep certain stock to the that customers. Maybe you have hundreds of customers. Out of them, you have 50 customers for whom you reserve the stock for them. Okay, in such cases, you can use product allocation functionality where you can decide for whom the stock has to be reserved. Okay, so that you can schedule here. Okay, so, so likewise, there are other features in the advanced ATP section. Just go through that and grab the knowledge on it. Okay. So it's earlier we used to find lot of hurdles to find the information, right? At present, there is no such situation. Just these topics are just a keywords away. Just go there, Google it, and you will find help.sap.com in which find a beautiful documentation. Or else you can find the SAP blogs with the detailed information. Okay, so there is no such cases where you lack of information finding of it. Okay. The next thing is credit management. Yeah. So as you know that there's a SAP credit management FIARCR is replaced by credit management FIN FSCMCR, financial supply chain management. Okay, so this is the new functionality in the S4 HANA. You won't find the old functionality here. In order to maintain the credit master for the customer, you have to run the BP transaction in which you have to select the role UKM000, under which you will find a button called credit profile. Okay, credit segment and credit profile section. So in which you have to maintain the credit limit for the customer. Okay, so there are two different functionalities in credit management as part of FSCM. Okay, one is basic level credit management functionality, and there is an advanced credit management functionality. In order to use the advanced credit management functionality, you have to go for a licensing terms. Okay, then once you obtain the license, then you will be able to use the advanced functionality. The rest of the functionality which you use to run in the SAP ECC system can be run with the basic functionality of the FSCM credit management. So in which you will find the screen like this. So you can see that there's a credit segment, right? Instead of using the credit control area, so you will find the credit segment which is aligned with the credit control area in the background. Okay, so here you have to select the limit defined, and then you have to mention the limit here. Okay, you can see there is a credit exposure and utilization percentage that you use to find the data in the FD33 transaction, right? So now these transactions are no longer available in the S4HANA system. In order to view this information, you have to execute the transaction BP. Okay, BP will be the final transaction. So this will be a central topic. Okay, central transaction. Okay. The next thing is settlement management. Okay. So again, I told you, right? So in order to attend any interview, the hot topic will be advanced JTP, and the next hot topic will be the settlement management. Okay. In order to attend any interview and crack that, then you have to have the knowledge and settlement management and advanced JTP. Okay. So these are the major topics which are asked by the interviewer. Okay, so in advanced settlement management, okay, so we used to have a rebate management in ECC, right? Now this is a central point for sales and purchase modules where they can run the rebate functionalities here. Okay, so here you will have a comprehensive and flexible S4HANA solution that supports settlement of rebates and external commissions. Okay, like it is not just about the sales rebate functionality, guys. It will be including the other functionalities like commission, royalties. Okay, so commissions are nothing but that you said settle to the employees. Okay, maybe you might be deciding some target to the sales employees which have to be settled to them, right? So that has to be okay configured under the settlement management, which was not there in the ACC system. Okay, you can see I can say this is a kind of short SAP model, I can say, because you have to handle both purchase and sales and the commissions and royalties, right? So if you learn this, you will get a good requirement. Okay, maybe you will get a lot of opportunities on this. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, right? So this is the pictorial diagram how exactly the SAP system works for the rebate and settlement management functionalities. Okay, you have to create a condition record which you use to create a rebate agreement in ECC system, right? But in the S4HANA system, you have to create a condition contract by using the WCOCO transaction. Okay, then the system takes the data from the database table like WB2 underscore V underscore VBRK underscore VBRP. So these are the database view tables from which the system takes the data, and you won't find these condition types any longer in the sales transaction. As a result, the system takes the data from the view tables like VBRK, VBRP view tables. Okay, so now so system there will be certain criteria on which you have to take the business volume as a rebate basis here. Okay, for that you have to have some selection there. You have certain customization like split criteria, item level, header level, and condition, scale basis, business volume tables. So as I mentioned earlier, and you have transfer rules. If at all you want to pass on any basic data like maybe business place, let's say, so you can default it by using that transfer rule functionality. Okay, you have little complicated functionality here. Okay, so in order to set up this, like SAP has introduced condition contract type, settlement document type, settlement process type. Okay, you have partner functions, you have revenue account determination functionality here. Okay, you have textual determination. They have taken some bits and pieces and they clubbed it together and prepared a settlement management functionality here. Okay, so you have to have that knowledge on these pointers, like I said, a text determination procedure. Okay, and partner determination procedure, revenue account determination procedure, and pricing is the hard topic here. So this will be a hard for the settlement management. You have n number of settings which you have to dig in, otherwise you won't be able to crack the settlement management for process. Okay, so the data source will be for the settlement management will be is sales orders, purchase orders, deliveries, invoices, goods movement, settlement management documents, external system, and POS data, point of sale data. Okay, so these are the data which system can consider for the processing of settlement management. Okay, so here you can also do the settle delta settlement. Okay, as you can see on the pictorial diagram, right? Okay, so then you can settle the data, right? So So as I mentioned, so it is not just about the sales rebate, right? So there are other functionalities. Okay, so when it comes to the settlement sales rebate functionality, there are couple of additional functionalities are available, like sales rebate for the single customer, and sales rebate on the base of goods related, sales rebate on two-step process, and you have sales rebate goods related two-step process. Okay, in the same way you can find the sales rebate functionality for the multiple customers where you do not have single customer criteria there. Okay, you have sales rebate multiple customers. Okay, and goods related multiple customers two step, and multiple customers with goods related and two step functionality. Okay, so these are the eight scenarios which you can find as part of the sales rebate, which is available in the settlement management. Okay, if at all you want to use the old functionality by using VBO1, so that is no longer available in the S4Hana system. I hope you know that, right? Okay. So other than that, as I mentioned, there is a functionality to settle the royalties and as well as the settle the commission. Like you might be setting up the targets to your sales employees to you need to sell the certain data, certain quantity of products to the customers. Then you will get this much of incentive, right? That functionality is also added here. Okay. So if at all you want to explore that, you have to have a decent knowledge on the topics which I explained earlier. So you need details on that. Okay, don't worry guys, I already explore the settlement functionality on that. Okay, so if at all you want to see such any PDF document on that, you can go to my LinkedIn account. You can find it on Suresh.Kola. Okay, in the LinkedIn, in which you can find the basic PDF documents on the regular scenarios, like which is latest. Okay, so you can find the document, as well as I am going to plan the my next video on the YouTube will be the settlement management one, this is sales rebate process. Okay, I will give you the say overview on this again with the detailed process steps. Okay, yeah, next thing is business partner. Okay, so as we know that we used to run the transactions like XD01, XD02, XK01, XK02, XD05, right? So we used to have almost 10 to 15 transactions to maintain the customer master, vendor master, contact person, customer material info record. Okay, so like that you have n number of transaction codes in the ECC system, whereas in S4HANA you have to use a single transaction, that is business partner, which is BP. Okay, you have to execute the BP transaction in which the data is available on a role based. Okay, you can see that you can create and manage your business partner centrally for different business transactions and indicate the different roles they play, such as sold to party, ship to party, vendor, okay, employee. You can club those roles. For example, I'm a physical person who is working for a certain company. At the same time, I purchase certain products from the same company, and I'll supply some sort of products to the same company. So in that case, I have three roles, like I'm an employee to the customer, I'm a supplier to the customer, I'm a customer to the customer. So in that case, I can have a common code called business partner, under which I can define my roles. Okay, like that you can create different roles like customer, vendor, employees, okay, contact person, plant, credit account. The plant can be used for the S2O process, right? For that also you have to create a business partner under which you have to define the role of customer and vendor. You know that, right? You have two different roles for the customer. One is FLCU 00 for the company code data and the FLCU 01 for the sales area data. And there is a central role that is triple zero in which you will find the central data of business partner like address, bank data, email address, etc. Okay. Okay, then output management. Okay, so you have the advanced functionality in the S4 HANA to maintain the output management. Okay, we used to have nest related functionality, right? Like if you go to the NACE transaction code, then you have to configure the output determination functionality, right? By choosing the appropriate application. For the sales it will be V1, for delivery it will be V2, and for the billing it will be V3, right? Now, so if at all you want to use the S4HANA advanced functionality for the output management, all these are available in a central place under S4HANA system. Okay, but what are the pros of the output management is unified solution across SD, MM, FI, etc. Okay, you can find all those output functionalities in a central place, in a single place, right? So when it comes to the integration, okay, you have full integration with Fiori apps, okay, and you have BRF plus with the flexible benefits. What do you mean by business BRF plus? It's a business rule framework in which a end user can map and he can decide the strategy to pop up the printout for the customers. Okay, either you can map emails, printouts. Okay, so these kind of things can be configured using the BRF plus functionality. Okay, we used to maintain the condition records by going to VV11, VV21, VV31 transaction codes, right? Now those are no longer available for if you want to use the SAP output S4HANA output management. Okay, here you can directly set those key combination the selection criteria in the BRF plus functionality. Okay, and no need any consultant's help here. Once you guide the user, end user, he can do it in the next from the next time onwards. Okay, and so there's a flexibility, still there's a flexibility whether you want to decide whether you want to use the old NACE functionality or the latest output. So there's a control where you can switch on switch off functionality, so that helps you switch to the NACE functionality or for the S4HANA output management functionality. Okay, so there are like you see the pros section, right? In the same way, you have cons section as well. Okay, the cons are it doesn't support the special function functionality which you can use. Maybe if you have already worked for the NACE functionality, there is a special function will be available. Okay, if you select the option 8, that will be the special function. By using this, you can extract the data to your other database tables, or you can integrate with other systems as well. Okay, so there, so this functionality is not available. For example, we if at all you want to want to extract data from the invoice data like VBRK and you want to store it in a separate table. Okay, because in a billing there is no save, it's save enhancement, right? So if at all you want to use such functionality, you can use a special function which will help you extract the data from the VBRK, VBRP, VBPA, these kind of tables, and you can fill out your other tables. Okay, so for that you can use a special function which is not available in the S4HANA output management functionality. For that reason, those who clients are using the special functional scenarios, then better not to switch to the S4HANA output management. Okay, and it doesn't support ALE and it doesn't support events and tasks. So, and as far as my knowledge, there are n number of customers which are using this ALE special functions scenarios, right? So better not to switch to the output management of the S4HANA. Okay, next thing is Fiori apps. Okay, the major highlight of the S4HANA is Fiori applications. Okay, without which there is no point of having a S4HANA system with you, because so day to day life now we as an individual we are using the smartphones, right, and tabs, right? Okay, so why don't we still work Why don't we make the users and business users to work on the desktops and laptops? Okay, why don't we bring these customers onto the smartphones and the desktops, sorry, tablets? Okay, so for that reason, SAP has taken a big decision where they want to introduce the Fiori applications as much as are required. Okay, in order to see, for example, the core user of the business wants to see the sales report. Okay, so if at all he wants to see that report, he has to, the EC system makes them sit in front of the desktop or the laptop to see that report, right? Okay, now why don't we use the smartphone to use the sales report by using the Fiori application? So if at all you want, the user wants to extract the data by using the Fiori application, he can do it. And moreover, this data is available in memory database and it can be captured onto the front screen in a minutes of time, in a seconds of time. Okay, so like that, SAP has taken a big decision to capture that information in the Fiori application by accessing them on the tablets and the smartphones. Okay, for that, so when it comes to the SD module, right, the for the line of business, you have apps like customer overview. So by using the customer overview Fiori application, the user can be able to see the average analytics, like within the 6 months, how much of the average revenue that we got from this so and so customer, how much transaction, the count of the transaction that he has made, how many returns he made, how many complaints he raised. All the data can be found under the customers overview Fiori applications. Likewise, you have other fulfillment issues which can be given to admin, okay, where he can directly monitor the data, like the number of transactions will be displayed under the order fulfillment issues, in which where the transaction is exactly stuck. Like maybe you would be doing some sales order, the user is unable to prepare a delivery document. So in that case, the order fulfillment issues will highlight that transaction and it will show you the issue, and it will also show you the precautions to be taken to overcome that issue to proceed further. Okay, likewise, it will capture the sales order related issues, delivery issues and billing issues, and you can have immediate actions there where you can navigate from the order fulfillment issues to the change mode or creation mode. Okay, there you can make a required changes and you can bring some progress on that. Okay, so like that, you have predicted delivery delay. So this is the one of the beautiful app. This will take the historical data of the customer. Okay, for example, I want to see a particular, I want to pick a particular customer, I want to see the his lineup deliveries to be done. Okay, there system would be able to predict the expected delivery for each delivery. Okay, by considering the historical data that is realized in the SAP system. For example, it takes the last 6 months of data and the average days to be taken, the average days taken by the dispatch and team to dispatch, that it will be highlighted in the predicted delivery delay application. Okay, so like that you can find the data, and you have other functionalities like import sales order from the Excel sheet. Okay, no need to do any BAPI program or any LSNW for the order creation, right? Now you can directly use import sales order functionality where you can create an Excel template and no need to prepare an Excel template. You directly access that import sales order Fiori application. Then you have an option called download template, download it, fill that and upload it, then it will create the sales order. Okay, I will be planning this section also in the next video releases. Okay, you will be finding that process as well. And likewise, you have imported sales order from unstructured data. Okay, so this is actually like maybe you would be having, majority of the cases you would be getting the emails, right, for order creation, on which a user has to sit and do the work to punch the sales orders. Okay, but by using the import sales order from unstructured data for your application, you can set up a predefined functionality, like maybe you would be receiving an order based upon a PO which you receive as a PDF, maybe on the email, right? So for that, you can set the system to extract the required data from that PDF and mails, and it can create the sales orders on its own. Okay, so that is the capability of the import sales order from the unstructured data there. Okay, there it requires some machine learning capabilities, for which the client has to obtain a license. Okay, so here, as I mentioned in the overview section, there is a machine learning capabilities type. So that is used under import sales order from unstructured data. Okay, for that client needs a machine learning license. Okay, and it requires some artificial intelligence related functionality also. So that functionality was used in the predictive delay application. Okay, so the predictive delay app will use the artificial intelligence by considering the historical data. Okay, likewise, we have other application called migrate your data, so which is available in the S4Hana, and it is no longer the LSNW is no longer used for the master data uploads. Okay, for example, if at all you want to create a customer, so there is no x01 transaction, right, for which you have to run the BP transaction, and you cannot say that this will be the unique and default screen on which you can record the screen. No, right? For that you won't be able to record the sessions, right, by using the LSNW transaction, for which you can use migrate your data Fiori application, where you can find a predefined templates in which you can add, you can fill the data in a section wise, like basic data, sales data, company code data, bank data. You will have different sheets in the template in which you can fill the data and then upload it. Okay, you have different steps. If at all you want to see that a complete process, you can find my video in the under S4 HANA Key Innovations playlist. There you can go there and you can watch how exactly you can create a project and upload and download functionality there. Okay, so it's a beautiful functionality. Okay, right? Yeah. And the most awaited functionality in the sales is flexible workflow. Okay. Yeah. So flexible workflow, we used to have lot of enhancement to bring some workflow functionality, which is available in the SAP purchase side, right? There's a release strategy functionality, whereas in sales section there's no such functionality, right? Now in S4 HANA system, this functionality is available and it is up and running by using some Fiori applications, which are highlighted on the screen. Okay. So like manage teams and responsibilities. Okay, let me okay, so so you can use this flexible functionality, right, a flexible workflow functionality by using two Fiori application. One is manage teams and responsibilities, when you in which you can define a set of team members who are eligible to approve the sales orders. Okay, and there is another application like manage sales document workflows, in which you can define a certain conditions and pre-steps, so to trigger the relevant appropriate user to approve the sales order. Okay, likewise this functionality is at present available with the quotation creation, sales order, credit memo request, and the other one also is there. There are four options. Sorry. Okay, so likewise this functionality is now available, and there is a some of them I asked, okay, for the uh, you know um, scheduling agreement. At present this functionality is not available for the scheduling agreements. Okay, so it is available for the sales orders, credit memo requests, right, uh, and quotations, right? So you need to make use of these Fiori applications. And guys, I'm again telling you, there is a less customization in the S4 HANA in the ongoing subject matters. You majority of the changes have to be done in the Fiori applications. Just you have to activate and deactivate provisions would be there in the on-premise system. Rest of the functionalities are managed through the Fiori applications only. Okay, so that's why I strongly recommend you guys to explore the Fiori applications in order to run any show. Okay, so this would be a beautiful functionality, right? And for the flexible workflow, right, for the flexible workflow you can find a dedicated video in my YouTube channel. You can watch it and you can learn it. Okay, there are certain prerequisites which you have to go through and make it useful for your business users. Okay, then the next functionality which you have to learn, so as part of S4HANA 2022 version, which is advanced intercompany sales. Okay, so advanced intercompany sales, there is a functionality in the ECC system, right? Uh, we used to create a sales order against which we used to create a delivery, then you go for the billing, right? For the customer billing, then you will the supplying company will bill the delivering company. So this would be the intercompany sales in the classic functionality, right? Whereas in the S4HANA system, which is in the version 2022, so there is the process remains same. However, it has enhanced its functionality to meet the IFRS standards. Okay, you have industrial, financial system, right? So for in order to meet that and for the audit requirements, in order to fulfill these legal complaints. So SAP has introduced a detailed functionality here. The process remains same. You will create a sales order, you will create a delivery, and then you will create a billing. And in background, system takes care of creating the sales order in the background, creation of the purchase order in the delivering company. Okay, and that will be converted as a sales order in the supplying company. Okay, so this will be taken care by SAP system itself in the background, and you don't even find the difference between classic functionality and S4HANA functionality in users point of view. I mean, in transaction relation point of view. Whereas in the background, system automatically creates the purchase orders in the delivering company and sales order in the supplying company and the name of delivering company. Then it will do a different sets of entries, like I'll show you that. Uh, Okay, so as you can see on the screen, right? So you will just a user just creates a sales order, and then he'll go for a delivery. Okay, then he'll create a billing. In the background, you can see intercompany sales order and intercompany purchase order. First, as soon as you create a sales order, system automatically creates a purchase order in the delivering company by taking the supplying company as a vendor. Okay, and then once the purchase order is created, then it will be converted into a sales order in the supplying company and the name of the delivering company. These two activities are done on its own in the background. Okay, user will be able to know only sales order creation. Rest of the things are taken care by system. Then you create a billing. Okay, then you create a delivery. Then you will go for a bill customer billing. Okay, then you will create a intercompany billing. The process remains same as soon as you create a company billing, right? The supplying company bills the delivery company, right? As soon as you create it, system creates a purchase invoice using micro transaction in the background. Okay, so it creates all the legal documents which are required to meet the audit standards. Okay, like you need a sales order in the supplying company, you need a purchase order in the delivering company, you need a settlement activities in the delivering company to the supplying company, and you need a accounts receivables entry in the supplying company. Likewise, this detailed functionality is adapted in the S4HANA version 2022. So I am going to make another video on the advanced intercompany sales. So this would be quite interesting topic. Okay, here SAP has used two different functionalities. One is value to stock in transit, and then there's an application called monitor value chains. Okay, monitor value chains. Okay, so what is value to stock in transit? You might have aware about the STO process, right? You will do a two-step scenario in which as soon as the goods leaves the supplying premises, then it won't directly reach it to the receiving plant. So that will be in a starting transit mode, right? Okay, so once you do a goods issue, then you have to do a MIGO in the receiving plant. In the same way, as soon as you do a goods receipt in the receiving plant, the stock lying at a stock in transit stock, right? In the same way, SAP has used this value to stock in transit functionality in the advanced intercompany sales. So you know the value to stock in transit definition, right? So the ownership of the products will not directly transfer to the end customer, the receiving customer, as soon as it completely reaches his location. So that is what valuate stock in transit. Okay, the stock leaves the plant premises, however the stock ownership will be on the supplying plant itself till it is reaches to the customer. Okay, so that is the functional which has been used for the intercompany sales functionality. Okay, apart from that, SAP has also used the value monitor this monitor value chains, which integrates all these background scenarios in one go. Okay, when you create a sales order, P1 sale order is created, right? So that data will be orchestrated in the monitor value chains application. Okay, so the here you can find end-to-end chain. Okay, I will make a dedicated video on which you can find the detailed functionality there. I'll go through that monitor value chains app and I'll show you how exactly the chain runs. Okay, you will be able to see that screen like this, like this. So in the same way, the screen will be visible on the monitor value chain section. Okay, and as we know that for the output management, there is a pros and cons section, right? The same way for the advanced intercompany sales also, there are pros which we discussed earlier so far, and there are cons as well. For that, SAP has released a dedicated which you can find as a restriction note for the S4Hana advanced intercompany sales. You'll find the detailed functionalities which are restricted as part of the advanced intercompany sales. You have to go through that for the upcoming business scenarios. Yeah, so I am done with this these things. If at all you have any questions so far, you can ping me in the group chat. Okay, you find that chat section, right? If at all you have any questions to be asked, you can ask me. If somebody is there, that would be, if you have any questions regarding the S4 HANA system. Okay, maybe related to any what you call okay, maybe related to any S4 HANA sections, maybe about the interview questions, about any particular scenario on which you want me to make a video, so you can do that. Okay, so let me wait for 2 to 3 minutes. If I get any questions, I'll answer it right away. If not, I'll just wind up this session now. Maybe due to delay, maybe I'm not sure whether you are able to catch up me, but it's a quite bad situation for me to stream like this, so I have to plan better. So I think there are a lot of delay happened, and there's unnecessary stuff is recorded, streamed so far. So maybe this would be a first time activity that I did. Okay, so that's why the worst result would have been there. Okay, so I have to take care of these things in the next ongoing streaming sessions. Okay, there's a question from Hanumantu. How many standard Fiori apps in SAP SD? So, yeah, so actually there is no such count is available at present. If at all you want to explore that, you can directly access the Fiori library. Okay, let me access that. Just access the Fiori library like this. Okay, so you have to learn make use of a Fiori apps library web site. So actually it is taking time. Okay, yeah. So here what you have to do is all apps for SAP S4HANA, because as we know that there is no perfect account for the S4HANA, right, for the sales module. So in this case the Fiori application would be available on the version based. Okay, maybe for the EC system also, for the Sotan HANA users there are certain apps are available, and for the 1709 there are certain apps are available, and for 1809 you will find more apps than the 1709. Likewise, as and when the version gets changed, the more of the number of apps are being introduced by the SAP. Okay, so that's why what you have to do is, then you have the different search criteria, like all apps by line of business, by industry, by roles, like that you have to navigate from here. Okay. Okay, here you can see that sales section, right? You will find 264 apps, and that would be vary based upon version to version. Okay, so like this we can find required options, like create sales order, automatic extraction, like I discussed, import sales orders, manage billing document requests. Like that you have different apps available, and when you click here, then you will find whether this is available for all the versions or not. Let me show you. Maybe due to the network issue, it would be quite delay. Okay, you can see this import sales order functionality. This Fiori application is available from S4 HANA 2021. Fiori application 1909 2020